Hey, what's up, everyone? Thank you so much for joining us. This is episode number 2 of Highlighting the Best of Youth Sports, brought to you by Numbers Don't Lie Productions. Here we go. Welcome to Highlighting the Best of Youth Sports, where we bring you insights from top athletes, their sports journey, and those positively impacting the youth sports community. If you're ready like we are, let's go! Welcome to episode number 2 of our new show, Highlighting the Best of Youth Sports. We have another great show lined up with one of our NDL Nation ambassadors, multi-sport standout, 14-year-old Peyton Woodyard out of Southern California. Also joining us on this show are Peyton's parents, Mr. and Mrs. Woodyard. We weren't quite sure how this structure would go, but we're excited how it turned out. We're looking to include many parents in future shows as they bring so much wisdom that can be beneficial to our audience. We covered a lot of things in this episode, including Peyton's journey in sports so far, including winning national championships in both football and baseball, and we got some advice and insights from the Woodyards on balancing family life, school, and sports. They have 2 adult college athletes already, and Peyton is well on his way. Real quick before we get into this interview with Peyton Woodyard, we want to ask you just a few things. 1, please make sure you subscribe, rate, and review this show. That's how we're going to grow our audience. We also ask that if you feel this show will bring value to someone else, please share it with them. And finally, please send us any messages you have. Let us know how we're doing. Let us know who you want to hear from on this show and what you want to hear about on this show. You can find us on any of our social media platforms and just send us a message. We'd love to hear from you. All right, we have Peyton Woodyard, and we also have, you don't see them yet on the screen, but we have Mr. and Mrs. Woodyard as well here with us, and we're going to be interviewing Peyton. And I wanted to welcome you to Highlighting the Best of Youth Sports. Thank you all so much for taking the time to be with us tonight. So what we're going to do, Peyton, is for those that may not be familiar with you, can you take a few moments and just tell us a little bit about yourself, how old you are, where you're from, and what sports you compete in?
My name is Peyton Woodyard. I'm 14 years old. I play football and baseball from Southern California.
All right. Thank you, Peyton. And so for football, you're on the number 1 14U team right now, the OG Ducks, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you guys just got back from Hawaii, right?
Yeah, we went out there.
Yeah. Tell me about Hawaii. Other than football, what was your favorite part about Hawaii?
We were only there for like 3 days, but we got a lot of stuff in. Like, went to the beach. The beach was nice. Water was nice and clean. We also got to go to like waterfalls and stuff. It was just overall great experience.
Yeah, I saw a lot of posts from a lot of your teammates, your parents. I think you had a few in your story as well of Hawaii. It looked amazing. So, and then how'd you guys do on the football field?
We did good. I think it was 41-0. I had an interception. Well,
yeah, you had an interception?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I saw that. It was on under the radar, right?
Yes, sir.
Outstanding. So, Peyton, you're on the number 1 football team in the nation right now. Last year, you were on the number 1 football team in the nation. And you've also been, for baseball, you're a 2-sport athlete. You've played with MVP Hustle. 2 years ago, they were number 1 in the nation. And actually, how many years in a row did you guys win the championship with MVP Hustle?
I just got there for like 1 year, but I believe it was like 4 or 5 times, maybe more. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a really good organization, and so you've this year you took off baseball, correct?
Yeah, but I'll be back next year.
Okay.
Coming year.
So with taking a year off from baseball, does that mean you take off the entire year, or did you still get your work in? Were you still practicing on your own during that time, or was it just all football this year?
Well, my brother plays baseball, so I'll dabble in and throw some balls with him and stuff, but mostly football for like 7-on-7 and stuff.
Okay, very good. Now, Peyton, you've had some amazing experiences already, and you're 14 years old, but you've been able to travel all over the country on number 1 teams for football and baseball. Not only Hawaii, but you were in Maryland. You played in New York, Florida, I believe, just Texas as well, all over the country. So you've been able to experience many things that kids your age and frankly adults like myself may be envious of not being able to do as much as you've done. Is there one particular memory or moment that you have that really stands out to you?
Probably like the best moment I had was probably winning with the hustle in Florida and catching the last ball and then running in and dog pile and stuff. It was pretty fun.
Yeah, that was pretty amazing. I remember seeing some videos from it and post, and it's quite a moment. So awesome. So Peyton, what grade are you currently in?
I'm currently in 8th grade.
You're currently in 8th grade, and where do you go to school?
Stars Academy in Anaheim, California.
Okay. Uh, Stars Sports Academy, is that what it is?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. And how are your grades doing?
All A's, 4.0.
All A's always, right?
Yes, sir.
Good job. And do you have a favorite subject in school other than sports? What's your favorite subject?
Right now, I don't know. It used to be language arts, but now I like social studies,
Social studies?
history, learning about what happened, and then it's just
Okay.
like history repeats itself.
Very good. And so are you already starting, or is it way too early to start thinking about when you get into college what you want to focus on as far as your academics?
Academically, I'll probably do a business because my brother also has a business. I tell
Okay.
people
And what does he do with his business?
he like buys clothes and resells. You follow him on Instagram.
Okay. What's his Instagram? We'll follow him.
Called like the Supreme Prophet.
Okay. All right. Very good. Now, so you're in 8th grade. High school's next. Do you know where you're going?
I'm not sure yet.
You're not sure yet? Well, where are you thinking about going?
I like Bosco. Also looking at like Servite, Santa Margarita, and some other schools, but Bosco's been showing a lot of interest in me since like I was little. So I don't know yet.
And I know recently at Bosco they had some sort of, I think it was a shadow day. Is that correct? That you were able to participate in?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Can you tell me a little bit about that and how something like that goes and what you thought of it?
So it was pretty cool, in my opinion. We got to see the students like how their day was, and we like shadowed a player. I shadowed Logan Loya, the receiver. He also kicks for the team, and it's pretty cool. Got to eat food with them. It was pretty good.
What kind of food did you have?
Egg and bacon burrito.
Excellent. Well, good. So did you enjoy doing it? Did you enjoy the campus, and did they treat you well?
Yeah, it was a pretty cool experience. It was a cool campus. It's just very family oriented, like everyone there, and they have fun.
So I want to talk a little bit about your social media, and social media is starting to become a bigger deal. Building your own personal brand is becoming a bigger deal for this generation, your generation, and you seem to have a pretty good following on social media, and you're pretty active on social media. So I want to talk about that a little bit, if you don't mind.
Yeah, social media is a big part in today's society. Everyone has social media pretty much, from like younger kids to older people. And I think social media is a great platform for you to get yourself out there and even potentially make money in the future.
Absolutely. So I'm sharing my screen. Let me know if you can see it. Can you see, I've got your Instagram page up. Can you see it?
Yes, sir.
All right. So you've got 8,925 followers. And what I want to show you here is, we'll just go to your very last post. And this post got over almost 1,200 likes. That is pretty amazing. And you don't post very often, which I want to talk to you about that in a little bit. But 1,200 likes. That's pretty amazing. You have a great following, and I just want to congratulate you on that. And specifically because this doesn't happen to everyone, and I feel that this is happening for you this many likes, because people really feel like they can relate to you and that you're an authentic person. And even though you don't have a lot of posts, I can scroll down here and this is all the posts you've ever had as far as your main posts. However, what I do notice that you're doing and practicing a lot or implementing a lot is your stories. And you have a lot of stories, and it's really cool. And I think that's where your authenticity comes into play, where I can see you always shouting out other players, other people, giving them love and appreciation for other people. And I think if there's anything I can notice from your social media, it would be that you're genuine, you're a good kid, you're one that people can relate to, and you're respectful and humble, and I appreciate that. So with that, with knowing, do you have any advice for other players, whether they're your age, a little bit older, maybe a lot younger people are getting online, or especially with their parents maybe starting their social media? Do you have any advice? What works for you as far as social media and getting your name out there and just interacting? What's your favorite thing to do in social media?
Social media, I'll just say be yourself and post a lot if you want to, but whatever you want to post. And then on your story, the story is pretty much like you can just post whatever you want, like, but keep it appropriate, I always post the 49ers and how they win and stuff.
Oh man. And I'm a Cowboys fan too. So, but 49ers are having a great season right now.
Yes, sir.
No, and I appreciate that. And what social media platform do you use the most and you enjoy being on most? I notice you're on Instagram, also on here. I know you're on Twitter and Snapchat. It shows that here on your page. Which do you think you get the more use out of? Where are you at mostly, or are you on all of them?
I'm mostly on Instagram. Instagram, I use it the most. I don't really use Snapchat. I use Twitter like sometimes, but not a lot. But mostly Instagram is where I'm at.
Okay, very good. So Peyton, I'm going to switch over here. I'm going to read this to you for those of our audience that'll be listening on podcasts and not able to see the screen. Can you see this up on my screen right now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm going to read this. It says, it's from a coach, and it says, recruits, social media matters. I have now dropped 15 recruits this year because of their Twitter posts, likes, or retweets. Explicit images, racist words, and demeaning posts are unacceptable. Your thumbs are killing your opportunities. From a D1 football coach. What do you think about that? I mean, you just mentioned something about that post-appropriate stuff. What do you think about this message here?
Is like for these kids not to mess up their opportunities by posting dumb stuff, and they always have to be appropriate, like I said, and be aware. There's people out there trying to bring you down.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, so I'm going to stop that there. So I'm going to switch over to your parents in just a second, and then I'm going to come back to you. But before I do that, you're one of our ambassadors, Peyton, and there's a reason for that. Your parents had us work on some highlight videos for you, and ever since then, we've been working with you and interacting with you on social media, and you're a great kid, and you're definitely someone we want representing Numbers Don't Lie and be a part of our family. This is the first year we did the ambassador program, and we're trying to get athletes that have a good social media influence to be part of that program. Going into next year, what can we do at Numbers Don't Lie to bring more value to you in the ambassador program? What would you like to see?
Not really. You guys are already doing a great job as it is, getting these kids out here, including myself, and just want to thank you guys for it.
Thank you, my man. Well, tell me this about if we come up with some more swag. I know you got a couple of our hats, and what can we do more in the swag area for you?
Do you guys already have T-shirts? I think
we've dabbled in some, but not enough. So we want to get T-shirts, maybe some hoodies. Would that be something you think you would wear? Your teammates might wear?
Yeah, I definitely wear T-shirts and hoodies.
What do
and
you think?
then maybe
Go ahead.
dry fits like underneath, so we can wear it underneath our pads and uniforms for our games
Okay.
after show it off.
Okay. Very cool. What do you think of our name? Numbers don't lie.
Numbers don't lie. I think it's really cool because numbers don't lie. Stats are always really
Exactly.
good.
All right, Peyton, I'm going to switch over to your parents. They can both come on. I can talk to one, and then I'm going to come back to you at the end. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thanks, Peyton.
Hi, PJ.
Hey guys, how are you?
Good. How
Great.
are you?
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you. Don't mind Peyton looking at you in our background here. So
I love that.
first of all, thank you guys so much for just letting me be a part of your Peyton's journey. The past few years, we've really enjoyed it. And I just, Peyton's your youngest, correct? You have 3 kids. You have AJ and Lauren, I believe, right? And
Yes.
and AJ plays baseball currently at Hope International University, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And Lauren graduated and played soccer, correct?
Yeah, she just graduated from University of Nevada, Reno, played soccer there. She was on scholarship there for soccer for both academically and athletically. And then AJ is currently on scholarship for baseball at Hope International.
Excellent. Well, first, congratulations on raising some great kids. Peyton's a wonderful kid, and you're doing a great job with them, and they're big time contributors to society already, and I can see that. And they're all great athletes. And again, congratulations to the both of you.
Thank
you.
you.
So, Peyton being your 3rd kid, going through this whole sports journey, what did you learn from the oldest 2 that you've really been able to implement and apply to Peyton's journey so far?
Do you want to answer that?
You can answer it.
Well, I mean, for me personally, as parents, there's no guide that kind of tells you the blueprint of how to raise kids in terms of being athletic kids as well as upstanding citizens. So for me personally, as a parent, my daughter, the oldest daughter, going to her games, I was initially that parent that was screaming on the sideline. But after reading The Inner Game of Tennis, it's okay to practice hard, but as a parent, enjoy the game, because at the end of the day, it's a game. And so I learned that the hard way with my daughter. And as my older son, again, practice hard with your kids. But when it's time for the game, that's all it is. It's a game. So they can go out there and perform all the stuff that they learned on the practice field. But more importantly, for us, although we see them, play football, baseball, soccer, things of that nature, that's not their whole identity. So they have to balance academics as well as the sports. The sports opens up the door for the future, but that's not all of who you are. So we encourage them to do other things other than just sports.
Excellent answer. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Is there any advice for balancing the academics, the sports, and the family life? How do you find that balance, knowing the ultimate goal, like you said, is to have a well-balanced adult that's contributing to society in the future? How do you find that balance? Because Peyton's competing at the absolute highest levels already, and it's only going to get more competitive. How do you balance that?
Well, and can I answer? I have this. We tell them, don't be afraid to be great in academics, in sports, with your friends. Mediocrity is not acceptable. And at the end of the day, don't be afraid to be a great friend. Don't be afraid to be a great son, because a lot of kids will settle for just being average. Do we hold them accountable? Absolutely. But don't be afraid to be great. But understand that greatness takes a lot of work, and don't be afraid to fail. Because there's a lot of kids that get all these accolades, but when they don't have to work hard for it because they're athletically gifted, and they fail, sometimes they'll crumble because they're afraid of they're afraid of being great. So one of the things that we encourage our kids is just don't be afraid to be great. Don't just go out there and just be average. Be great, and wherever you fall, it falls.
That's amazing. That's something I tell my kids every day before I leave for work is be great because you are great. You have that capacity in you. So go out and be great. So I appreciate that. And just for our audience, Mr. Woodyard, tell us just a quick snippet of your background. What do you do for work? I know what it is, but just so our audience knows.
Well, I'm a commander with the Los Angeles Police Department. I was a criminal justice major at Long Beach State. I played football in college. And so grew up in a single parent home. So I seen greatness, a mother that raised 3 kids by herself. And I've seen what hard work means. And so my kids know the expectation is hard work. The expectation is that you go out there and try to be great. And that's my story in a nutshell. And all kids deserve an opportunity to pursue whatever their passion is. If you're great in being a piano player, be great playing the piano.
Absolutely.
And I'm looking forward for Peyton to tell you some of the other things that he does outside of just football.
Yes. And thank you. And I just wanted you to mention that just because I want our audience to know that the philosophy that you're talking about right here, it isn't talk. I know, as a matter of fact, you're taking this out into the communities you work in. As a police officer. And I personally want to thank you for your service and for what you do for our communities. But this is a type of structure that's being brought to Peyton and your adult kids as well. And I appreciate that. And I thank you. And you've already dropped a ton of knowledge on us in just a few minutes. You've had an opportunity to talk. So thank you.
Thank you. And I'm sorry for taking up too much of the
No,
time.
not at
I
all.
got a beautiful
Nope.
wife that really she does when I say she does most of the hard work, she does all of the hard work. She allows me to go to work and do what I do, but in all reality, she's the one who's really instilling all of the values and principles that we collectively have come up with. And again, don't believe me when I say it's not perfect. It takes
It's teamwork.
It's teamwork.
Definitely teamwork.
Absolutely.
Yeah, teamwork.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's switch over to you, Mrs. Woodyard, if you don't mind. I want to talk because you have been involved. You're kind of the liaison for Peyton and a lot of the things he's doing with the sports. And so I want to just, if I could, take the time to get a little testimonial about Numbers Don't Lie and have a couple questions for you if you're okay with that.
Yes, of course.
Oh, okay. You reached out to us probably about 2 years ago for Peyton. What was the you needed a video, so why is it that you needed to get a video for Peyton?
It's been a couple of years, but we did ask for video, and then mostly because we had people asking for film of him. For some of these events or special events that he gets invited to, they require film first. So I believe, first couple of years ago when he started getting invited to events, invitation only events, we needed the film. And I know you did a whole season of his too a couple of years ago, was at every game doing this film. And that helped him get his name out there and getting it out to some of these invite only competitions and events. So and the best part about it is it makes great memories. So we can always go back and look and, oh, look what you did this year. And our family that's out of state, out of town, they always ask for video. How's he doing? So it's perfect. We have all his highlights. So you guys were a godsend. We're awesome for us.
Yes.
Oh, that's great.
Grateful.
Thank you. So it's not only is it good memories, which that's something we definitely try to do. And that's why a lot of times we have some of these T-ball kids and we're getting videos that they send to us and then we can reproduce it. But you're also seeing that as Peyton gets more competitive, there is a need out there for videos, for skills videos, different things like that. Are you seeing that from recruiters, from different organizations?
Yes. Still to this day, everybody wants film, for special invites. And competitions, everybody wants film. So it's perfect. We just, we go back and say, oh, here's some film. So it's been great, and we appreciate you guys for doing all that you guys have done for Peyton.
Yes.
Thank you so
absolutely.
much. So, why did you end up choosing Numbers Don't Lie? Why did you reach out to us?
Oh God, I can't remember if I believe I saw saw you guys on social media, I
Okay.
believe, and saw what your work, and your work is quality. The turnaround time was pretty much immediate.
They were local.
You guys are local. It was everything was perfect, from the customer service, turnaround time, the simplicity of getting the video out to you guys as snippets and putting it together. That was easy. It was perfect.
And we also found out that, we had a lot of friends in common. I mean, your kid played sports, plays baseball. I think he was at La Mirada Pony as well.
We've played against
He
you,
was at
yes.
Mutual friends. Yeah.
Mutual friends, the whole
Yeah.
9 yards. So it was a no-brainer for us. And then obviously we hit it off.
Excellent. Good. Just one more question. What would you tell someone who is looking to work with us or looking to work with a company that produces highlight videos for youth athletes? What would you tell them?
Service is by far the best service. Turnaround time is great. You guys do quality work, and we're completely happy with everything that you've done, from the videos to photos, everything that you've done for us. So,
And just
yeah,
the professionalism.
professionalism.
There's a lot of folks that claim they do this work, but clearly this is your passion. This is a field that you've chosen to be in, and it shows in the work that you're doing.
I appreciate that very much. And I appreciate the both of you. I appreciate your entire family. Is there anything else you want to add before we bring Peyton back in here?
No.
Just want to thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you so
thank you.
much for all that you've done for them. So we appreciate it.
Oh, thank you guys. Let's go ahead and bring Peyton back in. Thank you again very much.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, you're back in the limelight now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I did Phil, the last time you were here, I wanted to talk to you about outside of sports, outside of school. What are some of your hobbies? What are you passionate about outside of school?
So out of school, I play football, baseball, but I also play the ukulele, guitar, string instrument.
All right, how long have you been doing that?
For 6 months, probably.
6 months? And
Yes,
how often are you practicing it?
Every day.
Every day? How long every day? I know you don't have a lot of time on your hands, so how long every day?
At least 30 minutes.
Okay. And have you felt yourself getting better? You enjoy it?
Yeah, that's fun. It's a cool thing to have in your back pocket.
All right, so let's go back to your social media. You only had a few posts this year. So that's one thing I want to challenge you I want to see at least 2 posts a month.
All right.
At least 2 posts a month, and post some more just about you. Post outside of sports as well. So you playing the ukulele, spending time with your friends and family. I want to challenge you to do that. And you're going to get those likes up to 3,000 because you're a great young man. So I want to challenge you that with your social media. Just show us more who you are, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we're down to our final 4 rapid fire questions. So you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, here we go. What's your one big goal for the next year?
To continue to get bigger, faster, and stronger, and just improve all around all my areas of life.
Okay. What's the biggest piece of advice you've ever received from a coach or parent?
Like my dad said, to don't be afraid to be great and always work hard, no matter what happens.
Absolutely love that. Who's your favorite professional athlete and why?
Probably Deion Sanders. He's very influential today, and he was a very good ball player and baseball player, as you know, back in the day.
And when you go into high school, are you wanting to play both?
I can't. You said play both in
Yeah.
high school?
Yeah. When you get into high school, are you wanting to play both sports as well, baseball and football?
Yes, sir. Of course.
How long do you want to do that for?
Till college, maybe.
Yep.
And then maybe if I'm lucky, play both in the pros.
There you go. What'd your dad just say? Don't be afraid to be great, right?
Yes, sir.
Take it all the way professional for both of them if you can. Keep working
Yes,
at
sir.
it. All right. And finally, where can people follow you and find out and continue following your journey on social media?
Pepe_Wood on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and just Pepe_Wood on everything.
All right, my man. Thank you so much for being with us today. Do you have anything you want to add before we go?
No, just thank you. Thank you for everything.
Okay. Thank you. Don't be afraid to be great. All right, Peyton. Have a good night. Thank you.
Thank you.
NDL Nation, show number 2 is now in the books. And wow, we're excited for the future and want to say thank you so much for being part of this journey with us. Please subscribe, rate, review, and share this episode with someone that may enjoy it. Take a screenshot of the show and post it and tag us on Instagram. Let us know you're listening. Join us over on any of our social media platforms and let us know what you thought about the show. Any and all feedback is welcome. We want this to be the best show possible for you, our audience. Until our next episode, go out and win the day and never miss your opportunity to be great. Thanks again for listening to Highlighting the Best of Youth Sports at www.numbersdon'tlie.biz.